Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. How you doing?
Yeah, right, mate. Right. Back from work and looking forward to just chilling out now for the rest of the evening.
Sounds fair. So, how's this COVID-19 situation treating you? Because obviously Shrapnel was playing gigs before lockdown happened last year.
Yeah, treating us about as well as it's treated everyone else, to be honest. So I mean, it's kind of weird as well in a way that, I mean, last year, you know, when the album came out back in May, it's arguably been our best ever year in terms of streaming and album sales, merch sales, and stuff like that, and gaining followers and more supporters and stuff like that. So that's been awesome. It's just been frustrating as hell not to be out there playing this stuff live.
Yeah, it's a massive pain in the ass for everyone. That's especially everyone that's put out albums recently, or even EPs, or even if they're a new band. Proper like dropped everyone in a deep end here, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a nightmare situation for everyone to be in, whether you're a major band or you're just starting out. You know, I mean, having said that, you sort of you want to try and look at things, you know, another way, sort of more, you know, how can you make the best of it, basically, which is kind of what we've been doing. Okay, so we can't tour. What can we do? We've got plenty of time to write more stuff, new stuff, which is what we've been doing. Looking to write some more material, and we have been. I was actually in the studio when restrictions were lifted last year, and went up to Ritual Studios and recorded with Samuel Turbot, who was the same guy we used for Palace for the Insane. So yeah, just recorded a few tracks there. So there's some new stuff on the horizon, and we're writing for the next record. So it's just trying to be productive as you possibly can, basically. And I think other people should look to do that as well. Yeah, it's frustrating we can't play, but there's other things that we can do to even just pass the time, you know, until we can be let out and raise hell again.
Great way to spend lockdown, just writing new music. I can't wait to hear that. So, first question.
Coming soon.
First question. What got you into music?
What got me into music?
Yes.
I mean, are we more sort of as a musician or as a music fan, metal fan, or?
Well, both. If you want to do both, you can.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, if we sort of we'll keep it simple and just what sort of got me into metal, and this will raise a few eyebrows. So my gateway album for not only becoming a massive Metallica fan, but also leading me into metal, all other genres and stuff like that. It's actually the St. Anger album, believe it or not. So it was Summer Holidays 2003. You know, I was just sort of bored, and you're flicking through all the channels and stuff, and you think, oh, look at the music channels and stuff, and it's the premiere of St. Anger video comes on. Oh, Metallica, I've heard of these guys. I remember hearing a track of theirs in the 90s. It was Until It Sleeps, and I never bothered following it up. So anyway, this come on and thought, that's pretty awesome. I like that. So I ended up buying the album. I think, yeah, this is pretty good. And there was a guy that my brother was working with at the time, and he mentioned to this guy that I've been getting into Metallica, and he said, Yeah, that's an okay album. He said start at the beginning and work your way through. He said he'll like that a lot more, and that's basically what happened. Went through all the albums and stuff, and started getting to that a hell of a lot more. And I was thinking, I'd quite like to learn an instrument. That'd be fun, you know, sort of looking to become a musician. And I was torn between guitar and drums, um, and it was basically watching the one video. And when it gets to the heavy part, Lars playing the triplets of his feet, I think that looks a lot of fun. I want to do that. So yeah, it just went on from there basically, and here we are now.
Man, yeah, that fast bass drum bit on one, that is iconic. I love doing that. If I go on a kit and I don't know what to do, I would just play that little bass drum bit, especially if there's like a really fast paced double pedal in front of me. It's really fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's a lot of fun playing that. And often when I'm sound checking or even getting sounds in the studio, I just blast that one out because it's always good to hear what the bass drums sound like.
It's a good song to test your bass drum out, especially even if you're concerned if the sound's off or something. Just play that and you've got it sorted, really.
Yeah, definitely.
So, what was your first drum kit?
My first drum kit.
Yeah.
Yeah. My first drum kit was actually a PV drum kit. I think it was called a PV International 2 series. Basic as you get. And it was just a regular 5-piece setup with hi-hat cymbal and crash ride. And yeah, that was bought for me for my 17th birthday. So that's when I started playing. My dad was actually a drummer during his teenage years as well. So he taught me the basics. You know, he just taught me the basic 4/4 beat and taught me paradiddles, double strokes, and then I basically went on from there. Pretty soon I ended up getting my first double pedal. So I was getting into double bass drumming then, and yeah, I was very eager to pick that up, and yeah, just sort of wanted to get there and started playing along to Metallica songs and that. And when I was progressing more and more, then wanting to play Slayer and stuff like that.
It's pretty sweet, that. I like the sound of the I like the sound of the PV drums. I've looked online and had a little listen to quite a few of them, and they do sound really good.
Yeah, there's one or two that they make that actually sound pretty tasty, to be honest. I forget what models they are. I'm sure someone will let me know, educate me, but I can't think what they're called. But yeah, they can actually, they've made a few kits that sound pretty awesome.
They definitely have. So, when touring does come back, who would you like to tour with?
That's a very good question. Obviously, you know, sort of, if we aiming very, 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 very high, yeah, it'd be great to tour with a mega band, you know, Metallica, for example. That would be awesome. But bringing it sort of more down to achievable stuff and what we're trying to sort of do, even bands that we've played with before. It'd be great to play with Overkill again. We said that we'd like to try and play a show with them or get on a tour with them again. That would be great. Even other bands in this country, you know, with the new Vile album coming out. You know, the track dropped on Wednesday, wasn't it? Hell Unleashed. It'd be great to play a tour with those guys. We're down to play with them and Gamma Bomb in May, which is in Manchester. I think that will be postponed. I'd be very surprised if that went ahead. So, you know, expecting that to get moved to later this year or maybe even early next year. But it'd be great to tour with those guys. Yeah, I mean, sort of anyone. I mean, I'm a massive fan of the German thrash band Exuma. I've become very friendly with those guys as well, especially the drummer Matthias and Mem, the frontman. It'd be great to do a run with those guys as well. And it would just be great, full stop, to be playing shows again, really. I'll happily tour with anyone.
Yeah, exactly. That's literally the same for me. I don't care. I don't care if it's like a pop duo or anything. Just I will tour with anyone, as you said. But yeah, you've named some great thrash bands there. To be honest, like Gamma Bomb and all that, they kick so much ass.
Yeah, they're one of my favourites. Sea Savage coming out last year was actually in my top 3 albums of the year. I think it's a phenomenal thrash album. Really great band, though. Great bunch of guys. We toured with those guys in 2019, along with Divine Chaos. Just did a short UK tour with them, and that was a blast. Really good vibe. All 3 bands got along well, and yeah, the shows were great as well.
Sounds sweet. So if you haven't, I'm just trying to form this sentence actually correctly here. I'm a bit of a dopey moment today, but what festivals would you like to play? This could be European or Australian, anywhere really.
Oh, sorry, I didn't catch that. You just dropped out for a second.
Yeah, I think the signal, Danny, is a bit laggy today. I'll try again. What festival? What festival would you like to play? Being just anywhere in the world.
Which festival? Probably, if I had to pick one festival, it probably would be Hellfest.
Yeah, Hellfest.
I think that would be the one. Yeah.
Yeah, Hellfest.
Either Hellfest. Yeah, maybe Wacken.
Yeah, them 2 festivals are like kings of European festival, especially in my opinion.
Yeah, I'd go with that as well. They always have incredible lineups. Yeah, it'd be great. I mean, I'd happily play any festival, to be honest. Again, a little bit like the touring. Once we get out, I just want to play anywhere. I mean, our last gig, which is crazy to think about it, but our last gig was at a festival. It was a House of Metal festival in Umeå in Sweden, and that was at the end of February last year. And then we come back a few weeks later, boom, we're in lockdown. So it's pretty surreal to think that it's coming up to a year since we last played.
I think it's just insane. Like whether you're a musician or a gig goer, knowing the fact that it's going to be a year since the first lockdown was in place. Obviously, that was the time when everyone had to make emergency flights home if they were, touring abroad. It's just insane to think that gigs are a distant memory at this moment. I know there's a couple of vaccines rolling out in this country, but it's still the fact of that we don't know when we're going to get this back, and to a lot of people that's really annoying. But what I think of it is just we'll get shows back at some point, but the annoying fact is we just don't know when, so we have to just sit and wait it out, which can get aggravating sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll get there. We definitely will get there, and we'll be back to playing shows and going to shows and stuff. It's just a waiting game, as you said at the moment, which at times is very frustrating, and those frustrations can build and sort of come out really and even towards one another, and we just sort of have to pull back, don't we, and just realise we're all in the same boat, and we'll get there. Hopefully sooner than later.
Yeah, exactly. So you mentioned at the start of the interview that you were at the studio last year during when the lockdown was lifted slightly, I'm guessing, like during the summer, writing for a new Shrapnel album. Can you tell us a bit more about that? Because I'm obviously Shrapnel fans as well as myself, obviously, are going to be really excited about this new release.
Yeah, so basically I was in the studio just for a couple of days. It wasn't tracking for a new album. It was just tracking for some new songs that will be coming out. So there'll be standalone singles, if you will. Yeah, and the album itself, we're still writing, still ironing out the creases, so to speak, and getting there with that. And once restrictions are lifted again, hopefully there will be time for me to head to the studio and start tracking for that as well. Yeah, all I can tell you guys about it is, you know, it's not too far removed from Palace for the Insane. I think you dig it.
Have you got any idea of when that will be released, or do you not know yet?
I honestly don't know yet at the moment. There's a few other things coming. Obviously, some people might have seen on the Shrapnel Instagram and on our Facebook page and even on our YouTube channel for those that subscribe to that. We're trying to get people involved doing the Mace, basically, we're going to do a sort of fan-involved video for the song The Mace, and that basically just comes around with... I actually can't do it that well, to be honest. I broke my arm many years back, and I've got a pin in my elbow, so I can't actually do it that well. But if you watch the video with Aaron giving everyone a tutorial on how to mace properly, it's a good laugh, and I think it's just good spirit video. Get fans involved and just have fun with it. So that'll be dropping hopefully soon, and then there's something else coming after that, which thrash fans are going to love, and yeah, then we'll see what happens from then onwards.
Sounds exciting. You guys have definitely got some in store ready for everyone.
Oh, definitely, yeah. We're lining stuff up. There's, there are things in the pipeline, things on the horizon, too far away, and yeah, just exciting things to come.
Can't wait. What would you give to musicians that are starting out touring or gigging? Like, what advice would you give to them so they can keep that in thought for when they actually go and do this, when all this COVID is over?
I would probably say that the best piece of advice I could give someone starting up is to basically just work as hard as you can, really, in all aspects. Not just with the instrument and with your live performance and stuff like that, but with networking as well. That seems to be a key thing these days, and that's not just social media networking as such, but also getting yourself out there, getting in people's faces, so to speak, and building a network that way as well. Don't be an arsehole about it, but just sort of get people to know you and establish a rapport with people and stuff. And I think if you come across as a nice guy, or a nice girl, that will hold you in good stead as you progress. You don't want to get a name for yourself being an arsehole, really, because you just found out and then no one wants to know you. So just sort of work hard and be good.
Of course, I think you're correct there. Networking, as well as getting better your instrument live performance, is key, because when you're networking, you're able to achieve your placement in some of these performances, and that's just a really easy way of doing it. To be like,
yeah, absolutely. I've just seen Overkill. It says Overkill Official has joined.
Is that the real Overkill?
I would assume so. Either that, or it's a very good imitation.
Yeah, I'm convinced that is the real Overkill.
That's pretty cool.
Pretty chill. So I'm gonna quickly switch the music with video games here because I've just had this in mind.
Yeah, okay.
When if I play, you know, I'm an Xbox guy, so I'll just if I jump on Xbox or something, I find that in my opinion, the best music to play to make your game, any game intense, has got to be like thrash metal or honestly like synthwave, like synthy, like techno stuff. Like
Yeah,
the what I like to call the music that goths can dance to. I'm only just putting this in the conversation because obviously you're from a thrash band, so I thought, oh, I've got a good idea to ask. So what I'm asking is like, what is your go-to listen for when you're playing any video game?
so if I was going to play a video game, you know, some kind of shoot 'em up, Halo, something like that, maybe. If I was going to listen to something, again, it just would be thrash. You know, I'd stick on anything by Metallica, Slayer, Megadeth, Testament, Overkill, Exodus. Yeah, all manner. I might just put a thrash playlist on and just get it randomly playing tracks by everyone. You know, it's the best music. I think it not sorts but suits rather chaotic games like that. And I think that's why a lot of games like that seem to have those sort of soundtracks. It's very sort of chaotic music going and stuff like that. It's either that or it's going to be sounding really dramatic and epic sounding, almost as if Dream Theater are in the room.
Yeah, literally. I was on a game like the other day, and I think I had Death Angel's Humanicide
Yeah,
playing during the background. It was like a car chase, and I had to like drive away from somebody. And as it was just playing, I was sitting there just going, "Holy shit, this is intense! This is like it's the best feeling. One of the best feelings when you're sitting there just in front of a TV and something like." It was I only just dropped this in. I only just dropped this in because you're obviously in a thrash band, so I just thought, what? This is a good idea to question. It was just thought it was great.
Humanicide is a great album, by the way.
Oh yeah,
I preferred the one before, Evil Divide. I think that is a fantastic album. I did enjoy Humanicide, but I enjoyed the one before the Evil Divide a lot more. Yeah, amazing band, Death Angel, brilliant.
sweet. Yeah, Death Angel are brilliant. I discovered them actually last year. Like someone recommended them to me, and I was like, all right, I'll give it a go. I think it was The Moth was the first one I listened to, and that's where I was like, okay, yeah, these guys are really good.
Yeah, yeah, they're great. They are awesome musicians. The guys actually before I came back to Shrapnel, the guys did actually play a show with them. I think they supported them at the Camden Underworld in London. Yeah, and they said they're great guys to hang out with. But yeah, just amazing to be watching them and stuff from the side of the stage. Yeah, I said it was a blast. I'm very jealous.
I shall make this the last question. What venue would you love to play at? Like it could either be this country or anywhere in the world.
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, that's a very good question. What venue? Trying to think of a venue. So I mean, I probably would pick a venue in this country, to be fair. And I go for a real pie in the sky, try and sort of reach for the stars kind of thing. But seeing bands play at Wembley Stadium, Twickenham Stadium, stuff like that, yeah, I'd like to do a stadium gig. That would be the ultimate for me, to play a stadium show. So when seeing Metallica, I've just seen a friend of mine, Rick Rocket. Hi mate, how you doing? Um, yeah, I mean, who was it who opened for Metallica? I can't think of their name. No, completely gone. Sorry, someone will have to let me know.
Was that the? Because I remember seeing Metallica 2 years ago at Twickenham.
Yeah, I'm just
Was
trying to
it?
think what they were.
Well, there were two support bands, weren't they? There
Yeah,
was
there was Ghost, and then there was
there
the opening act.
was Bokassa, I think it was.
That's it. Yeah,
Yeah,
Picasso. Yeah, yeah. Seeing their faces, especially the bass player, and he's wandering around on stage and that, and you just see a look on his face. He's just taking in the whole stadium and stuff, and he's just absolutely buzzing from it. I just think, yeah, I would like that experience. That's awesome.
oh yeah, definitely. You definitely gotta take in a sight from a stadium. Like I couldn't pick like at the moment I couldn't picture what they would actually be seeing if when they're on the stage, especially when they're like supporting Metallica on a big stage like that. What they're looking out to, whether it is like whether you are Picasso or Ghost, like it's still a crowd and it's still a massive venue. It just sounds really fun.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And like I said earlier, regards to touring and stuff like that, I'll be when we're let out, I'll be over the moon just to play a spit and sawdust little pub in the back end of nowhere. I just want to play a show.
Yeah, I can relate to that on a massive level. So I would like to thank you for being a guest.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks for having me on.
No worries. I shall see you whenever touring comes back, and obviously we have Instagram, so we can still talk on there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, send me a message, mate. Yeah, always happy to chat.
Sweet. I'll talk to you soon then.
All right. Cheers. See you soon.
See you soon.